this poem. It should be behind me. Not that I want to shit on Tony and Tony. It will probably be appearing behind me soon. Wow. See how this stuff works? Sacred lovers within me entwine, the sensual selves in me divine. The goddess and God with a sacred rite testify their unity in sensual delight. With balance of female and of the male within, from the moment of birth, our sexual journey begins. For all the world's creation assuredly exists through the hallowed union of our sexual bliss. Sometimes a line we draw in the sand, between shadow and intimacy, we seek what we can. Yet be you the lover, the beloved and love. Be certain your sexuality is a gift from above. So look eye to eye, make love face to face. You create light in the universe with each loving embrace. The innocence and trust of your child divine will keep you, the lovers, eternally enshrined. Breathe, everyone. Thank you. That's my map for my talk. That's how I do my talks now. I write a map. And I'm a poet, so I write a poem map. But for me, I've shared some of the abuses in my life, and this isn't going to be about abuse, but before I even knew what my sexuality was, it had already been hurt. Raise your hand if that happened to you. So a lot of us in our world, in our humanness, before we even knew what our sexuality was, we got hurt there. This is about the divinity of your sexuality. This is about how we, as human beings, as spirits in a human body, already came in divine. Has anybody been watching the new series Cosmos?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you understand what Cosmos is for those of you not watching the series. It's about the cosmos and the planets. So has anybody, with all the technology and the wonderful videos and things like that, has anybody ever seen a galaxy spinning on video? Even if it was made up, just to show us what it looks like. Has anybody ever seen two galaxies come together?
Yes.
Good, cool. Do you think the galaxies had any shame when they entwined with each other? Do you think the galaxy spins through shame because it's attracting to itself all the wonderful cosmic energy that's right around it? And then when it attracted it, it became a galaxy, and then a star, and then a planet, and blah, 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 blah. Well, look at all the stars. Look at all the galaxies that have been attracting and spinning in life since the day you walked in this planet. You gotta remember, folks, that I'm always me, Mark, my ministry is to teach you and me that we are God. That if you want to find God, to look in your eyes, look in my eyes, or go look in the mirror. Any one of them will do. Sometimes the mirror doesn't do as well because we're feeling all alone, so we have to go find somebody else, a brother or a sister, to look in their eyes so that we can feel their breath, hear their sound, and feel their movement as well. Because that's what the universe is made of, breath, movement, and sound. So as we, within us, the sacred lovers, are entwined within me, but if I've never met them, the sensual selves that may be divine within me, but if I've never met them, how will I have a relationship with you, or you, or you? If I'm a male and seek female, if I'm a female and seek male, if I'm a male and seek male, if I'm a female and seek female, it doesn't matter what spacesuit you're in. Within us is divine, feminine, and masculine, always. Within me, in this male body, I came in a male spacesuit this time. We all know what the parts look like. But within this male spacesuit is a yin and a yang. There's a feminine and a masculine within me. And I had to meet my inner male and my inner female. Now, I'm a guy, so I would have thought I would have right off the bat met my inner male, but I hadn't until I did a meditation like 30 years ago to meet my inner male and inner female. And in that, I met the inner female as well, but I realized that these two people are part of the essence of who I am. And guess who they're led by? Yes, the child. The divine child is always going to be the master within us. But so many times have we lost this divinity because we're in a social setup where there's shame. Again, do you think there was any shame in developing the solar system? Do you think that any of the stars in our galaxy felt bad about attracting a planet to them and having them orbit around them for what seems to be an eternity? It's like, bless you, we've carried shame in our lives because it's been implanted and instilled into our human condition. But from the moment you walked into this physical body, you've been a sexual being. You have to be. You're alive. Everything in the universe is created through sexual energy, including the cosmos, including the Big Bang. It was the most fertile moment in creation.
Okay.
And it's become more and more fertile ever since because there's more and more creatures, entities, beings coming to the planet. This particular one is all we can focus on. Don't think for a minute we're the only, somebody else is talking somewhere else, some other galaxy, maybe ours, some other system, some other solar system. They may not be talking about this, they might not be talking in this language, they might not even look like we do. We may not even recognize them as a life form, but I guarantee you they were started with sexual energy. They had to be. If you've seen the Discovery Channel, you've seen just all of nature, right? Where's their shame? Where is the shame in nature? They don't know their divinity like we do, or at least we don't think they do, but science is even showing how more and more and more of the animals we think are just dumb beings are sentient beings. So that here in our community, we're more willing to look into that because we honor every being. But for practical purposes of just saying that humankind has a more sentient understanding of its self than a squirrel, but that squirrel still operates from the same MO as we do. So as we're in the human form, we have a sacred rite, R-I-T-E and R-I-G-H-T. It's our right to do so. It is our right to make love with each other. It is our right to be a sexual being. But it's also a rite of passage. Okay, now, we're sexual beings from the moment we walk on the planet, but that doesn't mean that we express our sexuality with each other. Although, raise of hands if as a 5, 6, or 7-year-old you've ever had a crush on someone. Oh, so I guess we've been sexual beings ever since we've been little kids. But sexuality and sexual intercourse are different things. My sexual being didn't have sex until he was 18 years old. And that's cool for me. I'm fine with that. Some people had it younger, some people were older. But my sexuality I was aware of before then. I probably wanted to have sex before that too, but that was irrelevant. That was part of the libido of the teenager. But and there's nothing wrong with that either. It's like, especially as like I have an 8-year-old little girl who's going to be growing into a 16-year-old little girl, and 13, 14, 15. I'm going to need your help, but but we're already teaching her sacred sexuality because it's being bombarded to her in an unsacred way. So there's nothing unsacred about your sexuality, but there is ways that you can express it that aren't really behooving of your spirit. So as we have this God and Goddess within us, and we did a meditation this morning that hopefully you met them. And I on purpose said this is a morning meditation, not a workshop, because where I found mine was a workshop. It was just more than a 20-minute meditation. Now for me to go and balance myself, I can do that in a 20-minute meditation. I can get centered and listen to the inner male, listen to the inner female. As I was, it's no secret that Steph and I are breaking up, but in a good way. And as we first found out about this, the man in me thought he owed the woman in me an apology because I thought I had failed somehow. And, we've done a lot of talking. Everything's fine and good. Nobody failed on anything. But the point I'm trying to make is that the woman in me came over to the male side to console him and say, he didn't do anything wrong except learn how to truly receive. And I'm like, what? It's like it didn't make any conscious sense to me, but I realized that I was still out of balance in my male and female because I was being too male. The example, the rose is my most favorite flower. The inner female loves the rose. If I'm in the middle of watching a boxing match, don't stick it in front of my face. Because you're going to get all male, and then you're going to think, well, he's not in touch with his feminine side at all. It's like, I am, but I'm watching boxing. I came out in my right side on purpose, gave him all the energy of the day to go and watch two guys beat the crap out of each other in a good way. Because there's rules. It's a sport. Really, because I don't like the ultimate fighting stuff, because I think they go crazy. They go into anger. They go into hostility. They go into rage. I've watched that stuff. It scared the crap out of me. But boxing, man, I could actually get inside to my inner, the guy who wants to be a boxer. I don't know what that would be. The inner fantasy of the boxer. We've all wanted to be a hero of some kind, a football player, a singer, whatever it was. Well, I'm Italian, I grew up, here in Rocky Graziano and stuff like that. So that part of me was alive and well. But the balance of my feminine side always prevented me from exercising that guy when it came to just beating people up. When it came to breathing a little bit, when someone made me mad, to not just exercise that side of me. So I had to have balance. Well, when it came into relationships, that balance was really needed, because I needed to know how to treat a woman, but I didn't. I didn't, because I hadn't been treating myself right yet, because I was still out of balance. I used to have really long hair. Spirit played a joke on me. But when I first had long hair and I would brush my hair, my girl/friends, female friends, would look at me and go, "What are you doing? You're ripping your hair out." This is how you do it. You do it from the bottom, and you do the middle, and they showed me all kinds of conditioners and hair products, and I tell you what, when I started doing that, something shifted in me one day, and I started brushing my hair real slow, and an energy shifted. And I didn't become gay, which is nothing wrong with that. But in this body, so many times men think if they express their femininity, they're going to become gay. Guess what? Not gay yet. I slipped in the air, you did. I'm cool with who I am, but in denying the other half of myself, I wasn't going to be able to be there for my feminine counterparts the way they wanted to be, because I wasn't being there with me first. I learned how to pamper myself through women. Women have taught me how to nurture myself, how to pamper myself, how to take care of my nails, my skin. As a guy, I did not know diddly about that. I didn't know, I don't know, just get sandpaper and scrub it off. Yeah, that'll work. It's gone, right? So it's wounded and blood, a little blood, whatever. Now, we as men are also helping our feminine counterparts come into themselves and know that they're allowed to be assertive, not aggressive, assertive. So with the balance of male and female, now I can make love to who? Selves. First I have to make love here. It may not be physically. It may be as simply as that. I have to learn how to nurture myself. I have to learn how to pamper myself. I have to learn how to be with myself as the lover. I am the lover, I am the love, and I am the beloved. Okay, we used to say this all the time when we were doing Tantra, when we were just doing self-work. Do you guys know that you've already done Tantra with each other? On our intimacy talk, and all the time actually, when you just sat there and looked at each other's eyes and didn't touch. That's an exercise in Tantra. Did you know that? You did Tantra at church. And it was a beautiful thing. And the wave that came up here, I didn't expect, and it actually made me emotional, which never happens. What are you guys saying? The first love and last love must always be self-love. Mark Twain said that. And he said all kinds of cool things. But that one has always hit me, because it's really true. And I didn't always know that before I did workshops. Probably had something like that, too. I didn't always know that the first love was the most important, because I was loving you, and you, and you. I was always loving everybody out there. And then feeling really lonely, empty, because it's like, where did everybody go? Well, they were filled up with love, and they were going on loving life, because they got all filled up with love that I gave them, and then they left. Because I forgot that I was first. And we teach this to Rose, we teach it to each other. We're all learning this now, that to be selfish on purpose for a minute makes me be present for you. We've learned the thing with the airplane and, the cabin pressure, If you lose cabin pressure, oxygen masks will drop, and they always say to put it on you first. And it's like, well, damn, that's not very nice. But if I pass out, I'm not going to help the person beside me. So yeah, I guess I better put it on me first. Well, it's the same thing. If I don't know how to self-nurture, self-pamper, and make love to myself, how can I be present with you? There's no way, shape, or form I'm going to be able to be present with you. And we're still not talking about sex. We're talking about your sexuality. We're talking about the inner lovers. We're talking about the essence of who you are, the goddess and the god. To never forget that you were born already sacred. And this is a hard one. There's so much shame in this sexuality. And in this country alone, because we have people that have, in this community, that have lived in Europe, and you can go to the beach there, and they are not tripping out about being topless. That's not sexuality, that's nudity. There's two different things. Mark and I have hung out in nudist camps and nudist community type scenarios. It's like I have more issues with my bodies when I'm out of shape than when I do with my nudity, or nudity. I've had more issues being naked emotionally in front of people than I have with my nudity. It's just a body, man. You're going to judge me, you're not going to judge me, it doesn't matter. But it's the person that's looking in the mirror judging that matters the most. Because you can all tell me I'm handsome, you can all tell me I'm ugly. It doesn't matter what you say. It matters what I say. I can look in that mirror and find that goddess within me, or I can find a schlep. It doesn't matter. I have to be the one to see the God. Did I say goddess within me? Oh, no accidents, right? But it is. I have to find the goddess within me too. I have to know that I can go there without fearing I'm going to lose my masculinity. And I'm not. I never have. It's still here. It didn't go anywhere. Matter of fact, it's probably become stronger. I've probably become more balanced in my masculine side by owning my feminine side. Because I've been more balanced. It's making me be able to nurture myself and truly get in touch with my compassion. Because I love people, and I love people big, and people think, oh, he's just a big mushy Italian. Yeah, but it's the feminine side of me that is letting that compassion out, because quite frankly, the male side of me would rather go build something. He would rather go do something else and get all mushy and emotional. But I'm willing to be in the center. And I know that he knows that if he lets her come over to the middle and he holds her and lets her cry, that there's going to be magic happens. Because there's going to be a moment in his life, breathe, where he's going to walk over to her and she's going to hold him while he cries. And it's happened. It's happened in my world recently, and it's a good thing. And I thank God that the inner female in there is there enough to hold me so that I can be present enough for whomever I'm with next. Whoever I'm with next. Now, I don't know if I'm getting married soon. This has got nothing to do with marriage at all. You do not need to be married to enjoy sacred sexuality. But you do need to be sacred in your sexuality if you're going to be married. It's like any advice I would have for them today, which they don't need advice, they're two grown humans in the world that have already been on this path. But it would be to have this philosophy first. Because I may never get married again. I'm not taking a vow of abstinence, guys. That's not this lifetime. That was if I wanted to become a priest. I passed on that. And I'm cool with passing on that. And I think my brothers and sisters in that religion can learn a lesson from this aspect only. And that's all I'll say, because I embraced that religion for a long time. And I'm very grateful for the people's souls that that religion is continuing to heal. So there's no judgment with it. But I sure think they're hurting their hearts a lot in this denial of. Because there's no denial of anything in your body. Try to deny yourself anything. Deny yourself going to the bathroom. See how long that lasts. Yeah. That's a real quick one to put. It's a physical body function. Don't do it and see how long your body agrees with you on it. Well, when we don't get to express our sexuality in a sacred, healthy way, sometimes the body just steps in. And that's the line, the line of, sometimes a line in the sand we draw between shadow side and intimacy. We're trying to connect with each other. That's where David Roth in the song Spacesuits, says there's 3 control boxes: the head, the mind, and the groin. And at any point, the heart, the mind, and the groin. And at any point, the heart and the mind are always trying to connect us, but sometimes mess up because we're either too emotional or too stuck in our head. We can't join the two. So the groin will step in to connect us because we desire to be connected. So sometimes when we're connected, we don't connect in a sacred way. We'll go into that lower vibration of our sexuality, and then we'll get shame again. And it's like, all right, the thing is what it is. If you chose to have a sexual experience that didn't fulfill you, and then you had that awareness, take comfort in the awareness. Pat yourself on the back that you grew in that moment, that you realized I disserved myself a moment ago by that last sexual experience because it didn't fill up my heart. Because whether you're married or not, whether you turn around and meet a perfect stranger and decide to connect physically, can you look into each other's eyes? Can you be in that intimate place? Can you connect from a spirit level? I don't care who you are. I don't care how many times a day you do it. There is nothing unsacred about your sexuality. It is coming from here and here that makes it unsacred. The biggest offense that has ever been given by any of our parts when it comes to sexuality has been that part. We have offended each other more with our tongue than in any sexual act that we have ever done. We have hurt each other genderly. We have hurt each other with our words, with pushing each other down as far as making men up and women down, or women up and men down. It's like, somebody wrote something the other day, I think Julie posted something online about a pedestal. It's like, how high can you stay on a pedestal? When you fall, it's gonna hurt, man. Well, be it a man or be it a woman, you wanna exalt the god, Adonis, or you wanna exalt Athena, and then have a long, long way to fall when you find out that you're human too. Honor yourselves in your sexuality. If you make a mistake that hurts your heart, choose again differently. But if you choose to put shame back on you in that moment, you're going further and further away from your essence. Has anybody ever giggled while they were with their partner having sex? Yeah, all right. Oh, so our kids are with us in our sexuality? What are you saying to me, Mark? Yeah, man, in a good way. Our essence is of our child. And we're allowed to have fun and be playful. You think it's the serious adults that are giggling? No, it's the kids. But when they're safe and been honored, they don't stick around for that part. Whatever. But they're still right there. They know that part. They're not ashamed of their bodies. They're touching themselves all the time. Actually, we're the ones who taught them shame when we said, stop touching yourself. What are you doing? Instead of saying, hey, do that in private. It's just a private moment. It's okay. It is a private moment. I do go to the bathroom by myself. Everybody knows I go. I know you all go too. And it's a private moment. We're allowed to have private moments in life. Just because I'm open doesn't mean I don't have private moments. I will tell you guys everything about my feelings and my emotions, but you're not coming into the John with me. Or the gym. I like Bo's little thing. Did you see that thing Bo said? Every morning I get up and I go to the John first thing. What if I changed it to gym? Every morning I get up and I go to the gym. Yeah, see, anyway, that was just a sidebar. I saw Bo Fraser wrote that. But anyway, my point is we all know that we always say things like, well, he puts his pants on the same way you do. I always go right down to the bare bones of things. Well, they go to the bathroom in the morning just like you do. Don't ever be intimidated by somebody just because they're perceived to be in a position of authority over you, like a CEO or a VP or something like that. Point is, we all are human. We all put our pants on, or dresses, or shorts, or whatever. 1 foot at a time, 1 leg at a time. We all go poop, we all go potty. We are human beings, we have body functions. Why would we be ashamed of, are you ashamed of your saliva? I'm being ridiculous on purpose, guys. It's like we're ashamed of something that was created by us, the gods. We, the creator, we're part of a source, I am individual here. I don't have all the power of the source right now, but I can tap into it at any given time in prayer or meditation. And that's a part of the symbiotic relationship we have with spirit, us. But while we're on this 3D planet, we came in a physical body. And to create more of these little physical bodies, we got to hook our bodies together. That's just how it happens. Every single other creature has to hook their body together some way or form. And again, they don't have shame with it. Only we do. And our shame is hurting our spirits. It's hurting our children. Because they're born of shame? No, man. Born of love. So you have to love, love, love yourself in every sexual experience you've ever had, and forgive yourself for the ones that disserved you, but get off your back about it. You are a sacred being. You've been a sacred being since you walked the planet. Every person, every being that's ever incarnated, the whole universe is started through this sexual sacred energy. So what's wrong with us experiencing that? It's a rite. It's a rite, R-I-T-E, and it's a rite, R-I-G-H-T. And we're allowed to, here it goes, enjoy it. You're allowed to enjoy it. When you enjoy this act with your partner, whoever that partner may be, could be a partner for the moment, an interlude of spirits connecting in the night, or the day, or the morning, no matter. There's no judgments. Have you truly ever really judged it in the moment, or was it right after the moment? In the moment, we're all like, ah. And remember, it only lasts, again, we talked about this before, our sexuality, that part of it is only like 30 seconds tops. I'm like happy for it even lasts the full 30 seconds. That's amazing. In Tantra, there's exercises where you can have that orgasmic moment last for a whole minute, longer. Because they have it run up that chakra, run up the inner flute, and all that wonderful stuff. But we're still talking seconds, okay? Can you imagine if it was anything longer than that? I've said this before, we would never do anything else. There would be no economy, we wouldn't go to work. And can you imagine the faces on people? Yeah, you guys got a visual of that. If it lasted for more than 30 seconds, we'd all be walking exactly. You're allowed to like and enjoy your sexuality. You're allowed to play in it and play with it. You're allowed to embrace every aspect of who you are, knowing that if you have an issue with your inner male and inner female and they're not talking, that's where to start. That's why today's meditation, I said on purpose, this is not a workshop, this is discovery. If you couldn't find them, then let's do some work. There's many modalities, there's many people to go talk to, there's so many different ways we can get in touch with these sides of ourselves. And to know that this is sacred, and to know that our child is leading the way. That the essence of our child is always what's going to be what keeps those lovers together, totally enshrined forever. It's like the little girl and the little boy in us are magical. They don't have judgments. We taught them that stuff. They don't have shame. We taught them that stuff. They're like the little cherubs running around buck-ass naked, and they don't give a crap. There's no big deal with it, man. It's like there's no shame in our household about nudity itself. There's boundaries. There's boundaries with each other because we have to respect each other's boundaries, but just the body, golly, we started off with just shame right there. How are you supposed to get to a loving relationship if you're ashamed just to take your clothes off? It's like, and then you can't look each other in the eyes. This is the most powerful line for me. I can't see it up there, but it's like, so look eye to eye, make love face to face, you create light in the universe with each loving embrace. We all have our own gifts, we all have our own magic. My vision, I can see stuff. And when two people are loving each other, I can see that dance. And when people are truly making love with each other, and I'm not talking about sex, I'm talking about making love with each other. We've all made love together in this room on countless times. And there was no togas or orgies going on either. We have love in our eyes for each other, and we make love when we look into each other's eyes, and this has got nothing to do with sexuality, except I am a god, you are a goddess. I am a goddess, you are a god. When we stay in those eyes and connect with each other, those sacred sexual sensual selves do recognize each other. Doesn't mean we're going to jump bones in the moment. It means that we honor and recognize who each other are as a being, and we honor it from everything. And when we teach our children this, there's not going to be therapy anymore. There's not going to be rape anymore. There's not going to be these crimes of, even though they're violent crimes, they're crimes of hurt, because people have been shamed in their sexuality before they even got here. So there's a lot of healing that needs to be done in ourselves, but it starts where? Right here. It's always an inside job. But know that that essence, that child will keep you pure. It does keep you pure. You are pure. When you make love to each other, look in your eyes first, and then do whatever the hell you want. Doesn't matter. Hang from chandeliers. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do, how much fun you have, how many different positions you want to, like, hey, we got A, B, and C all at one time. It's fine. It's fine. You can play and have fun because there's no rules about this. Here's the rule. Honor. Respect. Look in each other's eyes and treat each other with dignity all the time from day one. And if you meet a little girl and you meet a little boy, you teach them that, whether you're a little boy, you're a little girl at all. Just look them in the eyes and be feeling honor and integrity when it comes to their sexuality. Because I don't know how many more workshops I personally can handle seeing another abused little boy or girl. Let's stop it now. We stop it by going inside and healing it here and getting to know the inner male and the inner female and knowing that that is where it starts. And let your child lead the way. She and he will take it right to God all the time. Oh, Tommy, awesome. Thank you.
You check my settings now, my same place.
You'll remember me when the west wind moves among the fields of barley. You can tell the sun in his jealous sky when we walked in fields of gold.
So she took her forward to gaze a while among the fields of barley. In his arms she fell as her head came down among the fields of gold.
Will you stay with me? Will you be my love? Among the fields of barley, you can tell the sun in his jealous sky when we walked in fields of gold. I never made promises lightly, and there have been some that I've broken, and I swear in the days still left, we'll walk in fields of gold. We'll walk in fields of gold. I never made promises lightly. There have been some that I've broken. Ooh, I swear the days still left, we'll walk in fields of gold. We'll walk in fields of gold.
Many years have passed since those summer days among the fields of barley. See the children run as the sun goes down, as you lie in fields of gold.
You'll remember me jealous sky.